Season's greetings, everyone. It's the most wonderful time of the year, and I personally couldn't be happier. Well, maybe I could. After all, this is usually the time in which I look at some examples of Christmas anime, which you'd be surprised to find out that there's quite a few of them. And while they can be touching and thoughtful, most of them are nonsensical at best and insulting at worst. Unfortunately, I feel like we've already covered the best Christmas-themed anime possible with Tokyo Godfathers and ROD the TV, so it can only go downhill from here. But at the very least, we've covered the worst possible Christmas-themed anime. Like, how could it get any worse than the Love Hina Christmas special? Well, I'll tell you how. Get Kanakamatsu on the phone and tell him that you're gonna make an OVA out of one of his other manga. Bada bing, bada boom, Itsudatte my Santa. That's right, we are ladling deep into the Akamatsu septic tank and pulling out yet another Yuletide log for the fire. Literally translated as Always My Santa, the OVA was made in 2005 and distributed by Funimation in 2007, which means I'm breaking one of my rules, but fuck it, it's Christmas, and I will be goddamned if I let this slip past my clutches. Funnily enough, this DVD was recalled when it was discovered that there was a misprint on the back of the box labeling it TV PG, when in reality it was supposed to be labeled TV Not For Any Living Thing. After the recall, Funimation promised to re-release it for the 2008 holiday season, which never happened. As such, this DVD can be seen as a collector's item of sorts, but that's like saying fossilized shit is a collector's item. Technically true, but you wouldn't want to display it on your coffee table, unless you're John Waters. Long story short, there is no way in hell that this is anything other than a crumbly piece of coal at the bottom of our stockings. It looks like we've all been bad boys and girls. This is Itsudatte my Santa. We begin with a certain dissertation about when does a child stop believing in Santa. Well, for this poor schmuck, he never believed in the first place.
I never met Santa. Never got to sit on his lap and take a picture. The only present I received all year was hand-delivered to me by a state-employed postman, never by Santa. Sure, the cake Grandma baked was nice, but having an entire cake and no one to share it with is lonely.
Wait, you didn't share your cake with your grandma? The fuck is wrong with you, shithead? Okay, basic setup is that this guy is a Scrooge because he was born on Christmas Eve, and not only did his parents name him Santa, the cruel bastards, but they also left him with his grandma, and kept making empty promises to him that they'll see him for his birthday and Christmas. Alright, fair enough, that's a believable motivating factor if I ever heard one. And that's about the only believable thing in this tinsel-laid crap, because immediately afterwards, the anime machine guns a whole mess of nonsense.
To the boys down at the station.
What a psycho. I'm glad she's gone and out of my life for good.
Hey you! I know you're unhappy! Come on, it's no big secret. And anyway, you can't escape the long range of my top-mounted unhappiness detector.
This anime is nothing short of relentless. This girl who claims she's Santa Claus meets our Scrooge, off-screen, and then immediately lampreys herself onto him and demand that he spend the night with her. And he's giving her the cold shoulder? Why in the world would you ever refuse a Christmas miracle like that? I'm guessing you never heard the phrase, don't stick your dick in crazy, Suave. Sage, if every man thought like you, we would have never landed on the moon. Besides, crazy puss is best puss. You'll never know what kind of tricks they're up to. Like trying to cauterize your balls off with a curling iron? Don't tread on me, Sage!
So tell me, why are you moping around this place all alone on Christmas Eve, while everyone else in the city celebrates the magic of the season?
Leave me alone. I don't owe some creepy girl like you any explanations.
You know, he's right. I mean, if a stranger came up to me and demanded to know why I wasn't grinning like an idiot just because it's Christmas time, I am well within my right to tell her to go fuck herself. This is not how you cheer people up! Nor do you continually accost them into telling you why they're not fans of Christmas. You think anyone's gonna respond to your repeated breaches of personal space and emotional autonomy with, gee, maybe I should like Christmas. Thanks, frenzied woman who I met literally a minute ago.
Why don't you like Christmas or Santa? What happened? Please tell me, I have to know, I have to!
Now I know why Jesus looked the way he did on the cross in Sins of the Sisters.
Go away!
Santa! Santa! I can't believe him, he's such a liar. Well, fine. If he doesn't think he needs me to make him happy, I'll just stick to him like glue until he finally decides to cheer up some.
Or, here's an idea. Maybe don't? Well, she doesn't heed my advice and instead parades into a truly unfunny sequence in which she magically poofs into being objects with the prefix son because... Santa? Oh, the reason why she can do all of this is because she's magical and she's training to become a Santa. Because in this universe, there's more than one Santa. And also, she has a magical stuffed reindeer named Pedro.
Where'd that come from?
Sunset's gone!
Why?
Because it starts with
Sunset's
San.
gone!
And I got more. Sankaku Jogi, Sanchuo, Sankai no Chinmi, and a Sanba line.
I feel like my brain has been sent through a windshield.
Huh. Making a bunch of fish appear from nowhere. No points for making only half a miracle happen, Jesus! And hey, if she can only make things appear that begin with San, then how in the hell did she pull a Samba line from God knows where? Ugh. So after 8 solid minutes of sheer ADD-ridden madness, Scrooge finally takes her home to shower. And would you believe it? A Ken Nakamatsu anime with nipples? Now that's a Christmas miracle!
And by the way, I know I'm charming, but that doesn't mean you get to check me out, dude.
You're not even my type. I'm more into the supermodels. Besides, who'd want to gawk at your underdeveloped figure?
Hey, watch it. I look like this now because I don't have enough magic. My real body is a voluptuous female Santa Claus.
Okay, leave and come back as her.
I don't know what's worse. This anime's insistence on retconning Santa into an anime babe, or that said anime babe isn't hot enough. Well, now that we got our obligatory fan service out of the way, time to retread information we already know and have Scrooge continue to explain about how his parents abandoned him and how he missed them around Christmas time.
But was it too much to ask for Christmas? One day out of the year, just once. That was a solitary wish from my childhood.
Santa.
No! Look at this! This is the only present my parents ever sent me. It's a photo of them. Don't they look happy?
You mean to tell me that the only present your parents ever gave you was a picture of them being happy with other kids? What in the world were they thinking sending him this photo? Did they honestly want him to see how happy they were without him? Not only that, but with other kids, presumably his own age. I never thought I'd see the day when parents emotionally cut their own kid. This is such an hysterically awful thing to do to a kid that I half expected it to have happened to Shinji. Oh wait, it did! So, hearing him spiel on his life, Christina Kringle here decides to throw the party he never had.
It's time for Santa's birthday celebration! Ho, ho, ho! Ho, ho, ho!
Ugh. Is there anything harder to sell as an actor than ho, ho, ho? I think it would be easier to act in Al Bed.
I really love parties, don't you?
They're the best!
You're a little small for me, but at least I'm here with a girl.
Okay, fuck you with a paddling or you wannabe pickup artist cum drop.
Why do you have to be so rude? I might look like this now, but I can still be a great Santa when I need to! Oh, but it'd also be nice to have a boyfriend!
And fuck you for falling for it, you brain-dead doormat! And after that needless, hateful bit of romantic banter, Christina tries her best to be Linus Van Pelt.
Tonight, they're illuminated over people who are all celebrating this special evening. These people gather and look to Jesus like a shining light, spreading hope from home to home.
Statistically speaking, most Japanese people who do celebrate Christmas do it for secular reasons, not for religious reasons. And how fucked is it that this anime is having Santa Claus teach us about the birth of Jesus. This would be like if the Easter Bunny talked to us about the resurrection. In a truly bizarre series of events, Christina uses her powers to fake a phone call from Scrooge's crush inviting him to a Christmas party, and she gets sad about it because she's fallen for him. Lady, it hasn't even been a day.
All this Santa magic you talk about, it doesn't exist in the real world.
Yeah, the magic of Christmas isn't real. Now, making an entire truckload of fish in a samba line appear out of fucking nowhere, that's just scientific fact. Disregarding Christina's melodramatic meltdown, Scrooge makes his way to the party that he thinks he's invited to. But then he realizes that Christina was indeed telling the truth. And I realize that the perspective in this scene is downright awful. How long is that faceless woman's arm supposed to be?
We celebrate every year.
A Christmas party and Santa's birthday party at the same time.
Wait, you're celebrating this guy's birthday without him? Assholes! Yeah, they say they invited him before and they just thought he'd rather be alone, but you don't invite the birthday boy to his own birthday party, you dense shitbricks! Maybe they just meant that their Christmas party can also double up as a birthday party for him, but if he's not there, then it's just an empty gesture. God damn it, nobody can write a hateful character quite like Ken Akamatsu. Fact. Skipping over the flashback of Scrooge and his preschool classmates singing Christmas songs, you're welcome. We finally arrive to Scrooge realizing that even though Christina is a spastic nutcase who has no sense of personal space, he was still kind of mean to her and runs to try and make things right.
What's a young girl doing out here alone on Christmas Eve? Your job is to make unhappy people happy again. Or in other words, you're supposed to make me happy.
Or to be a complete cockstain to her. All the way up to the elbows, Scrooge! Hooray! Scrooge kissed Christina and now she's a stacked blonde and can take him along to do her Santa job. But what's this? They happen upon a home for poor children?
They're news photographers. During their travels around the world snapping pictures, they stumbled onto something they couldn't ignore. Even on Christmas, they can't abandon these children for their own desires.
Ah, fuck you! That's why Scrooge's parents abandoned him? They're newspaper photographers that just happened upon this backwoods retreat for poor children? That is such bullshit! I mean, yeah, it's good work to do, but this isn't Doctors Without Borders or the Peace Corps. These are photojournalists who just ditched their kid to help some random rural kids. They're not starving, they're not orphans, they're poor, and live in a place where they can't get education. Even if you were so inclined to believe that parents are well within their morals to dump their kid off with grandma and, as near as we can tell, never see him again, also that they can help support poor children, must they do it for what has to be at least 10 years without explaining to the kid why you're going or what you're doing? Maybe if they actually took a break every once in a while to be parents to their actual child, maybe Scrooge wouldn't have turned out to be such a douche nozzle, is all I'm saying. So now that everything is all hunky-dory and years of childhood neglect is washed away like the fucking sea, it's time for Christina Claus to close out the night.
It's time for you and me to see our star. The star that shines eternally for us. This is it, our star.
That's the moon. Oh.
Seems I spoke too soon about closing anything, as Christina is stuck here because she used up all her Santa powers over Christmas Eve night and has since been staying with Scrooge. We're also introduced to Christina's little sister, who just appears out of nowhere, not unlike a hideous growth, and Christina's frenemy here.
My.
Who's My?
She's my little sister from Santa Country.
Just say the North Pole, you fuckwits. And as if this episode's beginning wasn't annoying enough, they literally rehashed the same gags from the last episode. I am so not kidding, they repeat the exact same scenes and transitions from the first episode, because as we all know, if it wasn't funny the first time around, smash it into our faces until it is! And speaking of which...
Pedro! Here we go! Hold on, Sherry! I'll go first! Samba! Sandwich! Sando!
I feel like I'm watching a performance art piece made by aliens. How in the world was this made by human hands? As I can gather, the frenemy is here to boot Christina out of the area and back to the North Pole for more Santa training, and this is reverberated by this random woman working at a grill that Christina apparently knows. Christina has until midnight on Christmas Eve to say her goodbyes to Scrooge, but she has since grown attached to him and is angsting over having to leave him, so frenemy here decides to guide her along into telling him. Whatever fills the running time, I guess. I would be more invested in this sudden attempt at a dramatic turn if I wasn't busy counting how many slices of watermelon this little garbage disposal here is packing away. Where in the fuck is she getting 93 slices? They're just appearing from nowhere like she were a goddamn magician.
Give me a break, Mai. I'm trying to help your sister out here. You're just a little kid, and I know you don't understand this, but Mai and Santa need to have a serious conversation. And if you don't leave them alone, that will never happen, and then before you know it, it'll be fall.
You know, that is exactly what I'm missing in my Christmas specials. Girls eating ass. They're not missing in my specials. Get yourself tested for hepatitis. After some ball-gratingly annoying attempts at humor revolving around frenemy on the receiving end of Christina's sister's chompers, it's Christmas time again.
Oh no, what am I going to do? I've blown it. Mai's going to have to leave Santa behind without even saying a proper goodbye. She's going to be taken away from here and secluded back at school without ever knowing Santa's true feelings for her. Christmas is coming up just around the corner. It'll be here before we know it.
Actually, that out-of-nowhere plot recap was very useful, seeing as how anyone who's watched this would have been brain dead by now. So, after a dragged-out, nearly unwatchable scene where Christina and frenemy basically vocalize their character motivations the way no one in real life does, Christina bolts to see Scrooge so she can tell him she loves him before she has to go, even though she already told him last Christmas. Still, Scrooge understands and says they'll meet again, but the hour is about to strike midnight.
All right, Mai. This is our Christmas present to you. I hope you enjoy it. It'll take everything I've got to conjure up this present, but it's our only hope. So here goes! It worked! We'll keep the clock stopped for you.
Didn't you just say you can't stop time?
Come on. You can't stop time any more than you can stop your feelings.
Apparently you can, you fucking liar! Eat my sack with tartar sauce, fuck nugget! So the anime reuses a bunch of shots they've done in the previous episode, and the two share their goodbyes. But it's all for fucking naught.
Was this supposed to be some kind of a joke? We don't need we need my Sherry. If you'd bothered to read the work order, then you'd know that.
If it was always Christina's sister that was supposed to leave, why the fuck didn't you tell them that back at the beach?
I'm afraid that you have no choice but to do what they say and return to school immediately.
But...
There's no reversing the decision, Mai. But I do understand that it must be hard for you to say goodbye to your friend.
I guess you didn't read the order either, dumbass! And if that weren't insulting enough, they end on a joke stinger, teasing for an episode that never came. Oh, so we have to sit through an hour of drool-inducing saccharine tripe when we could have had a stupidly awesome giant robot fight featuring a reindeer megazord? Fuck you! I think we can all easily gather what my thoughts are on this sack of crap, but I think we all need a different perspective. Jesus, what do you think of Itsudatte, my Santa?
You know he died for your sins about 2,000 years ago.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It's exhausting, obnoxious, and just plain stupid. This is easily the worst anime Christmas special I have ever seen. And with a bar set that low, all we can do is look up with Ranma 1/2 Tendo Family Christmas Scramble. Till next time.
Long live your Lord High Regent Sage! Long live Benetopia!